is a cool 100 degrees out. You guys might just cook and overheat if I leave you on the dashboard too long, but it's been a year. It has been pretty much exactly a year, I want to say. Maybe a year come August, since we have taken a little trip in a competing warehouse. Y'all know I'm loyal to Costco, but I do slip up on in here into Sam's Club episodically to check out the skincare, and that's what today's video is going to entail. So the other day I did a video on how to control body odor, hacks for hygiene, and I talked about these whole body deodorants, and this, I guarantee, I held this up, you're probably going to get an ad, because these are everywhere, Lumi ads. But the whole body deodorant thing, they work to help cut down on the accumulation of moisture in the skin folds, which is a contributing factor to skin barrier breakdown, abnormal microflora, odor formation. They're sort of like a spreadable powder, but in contrast to a powder, they don't clump and get abrasive. Some of these also help to keep the skin barrier more acidic as it's supposed to be, favoring a healthier microbiome. Now, I know they have a fragrance-free one, but the fragrance in the skin folds is more likely to be irritating. In fact, it's the strong fragrance in a lot of just straight up deodorants that ends up causing people irritation. Secrets even in on the action with a spray for easier application. I do say be careful with putting this in the private area. See how it would be good in your shoes though for cutting down on foot odor. Now you may be wondering, why not just use my regular deodorant in these areas to do the same thing? So as a reminder, deodorant doesn't control sweat. It helps to mask odor, usually by fragrance, or sometimes has some moisture absorbing compounds in it to help cut down on moisture accumulation. Why can't you just use this in the groin area? Well, this has not been tested in that way, and a lot of these are going to have much more potent concentrations of fragrance not tested to be safe in these areas. But when it comes to controlling body odor, it's all about sweat control, which you would get from the Secret Clinical. This is a great antiperspirant. Put this on at night. Antiperspirants will work better for you if you apply them at night. This is what's gonna actually reduce sweat, which is ultimately gonna reduce moisture accumulation, ultimately gonna help tackle odor. Now, a lot of people find aluminum antiperspirants to be really irritating, but put them on at nighttime, you end up needing to use less, and you may find out, as is the case with me personally, that you don't actually need to use antiperspirant every single night. You only need to use it a couple of nights a week because the active ingredient deposits down in the sweat gland, remains there to have residual effect for the following days. Secret's also got a spray antiperspirant. I love their scents. You know who has really good spray scents, albeit, you know, a ton of fragrance, is Dove. Yeah, the Dove Advanced Care Dry Spray. That's one of my favorite antiperspirants, but it is a fragrance bomb right there. And that's the problem with a lot of antiperspirants. It's either you're sensitive to the aluminum that causes irritation, or it's the strong concentration of fragrance that causes irritation for people, and a lot of times that actually has been known to cause what's called a pigmented contact dermatitis under the arms and be a contributing factor in persistent dark underarms, is strong fragrances and antiperspirants. At this point, most of the male versus female deodorant antiperspirant boils down to scent, color scheme, language, artwork, you know, so I'm just saying. Now, I came across on the TikTok a couple of years ago at this point, multiple TikTokers claiming that they have, get this, one stick of deodorant or one stick of antiperspirant in their household that they share amongst multiple family members. Y'all, I mean, I get that you need to pinch pennies, but that's a lot of sharing. And sharing is not always caring as far as little microbes and things of that sort. Especially if you have ringworm or a candida yeast infection or a Corynebacterium infection under the arms, which, as a side note, Corynebacterium can cause trichomycosis axillaris, and that will make you smell very, very pungent. Check out my video on body odor. We talk about how that is treated, and trim or shave your underarm hair. Less surface area for the bacteria and the sweat to accumulate and contribute to odor. Makes a difference. Now, that being said, people who have hidradenitis suppurativa, it's often advised that they lay off of shaving under the arms, because the razor and shaving can actually be a trigger for hidradenitis suppurativa, either because of ingrown hairs or just irritation from the razor. Antibacterial hand soaps, as a reminder, they have benzalkonium chloride in them. So that is not necessary to wash your hands. Even if you're handling raw meat, okay, you don't need an antibacterial hand wash to wash your hands. The mechanical action of soap, water, and making sure you get all surfaces and you do it for an adequate amount of time is better than using an antibacterial hand soap, because these compromise the integrity of your microbiome, and they also put selective pressures out there for antimicrobial resistance. Now, a lot of people want to use Dial antibacterial soap under the arms, in the skin folds, to deodorize, and that can work by, again, wiping out some of your microflora. Instead, I suggest using benzoyl peroxide. It doesn't wipe out all of your flora, but it does cut down on bacteria that contribute to odor. You guys see my recent video on Cult Classics skincare edition of skincare products that have been around since like the 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. And Aquaphor came out in the 1920s, I believe. People ask, like, how does this compare to Vaseline? Vaseline's 100% petroleum jelly, whereas Aquaphor is 41% petroleum jelly, plus lanolin, plus glycerin, plus bisabolol. Some people are allergic to those other things, so this is not an option for them, but it is helpful for all of the same things for which Vaseline is. It's more semi-occlusive. It doesn't have as great longevity on the skin surface, but it's popular, it works, it's recommended, it's great for cuts, scrapes. Y'all, Jergens Ultra Healing. There's something about Jergens that it's not like the best, in my opinion. As somebody who's really aggressive with moisturizing, it's not the best body moisturizer per se, but it gets the job done, and there's an element of nostalgia with it for me. And it's $12.88 here. Now, it does have fragrance, but it gets the job done. This, on the other hand, is amazing. The Daily Moisturizing Lotion, and while this is more expensive per unit, it's definitely worth it. You can use this on the face. You get the two, what do you get here? You get the two 18-ounce bottles plus a little 8-ounce travel size, which this you could throw in your travel bag, use it as a face and body moisturizer for hotels, because you do not rely on the hotel lotion. I don't even know what that is, but it's like it's formulated to dry out your skin even more. Check out my video on travel skincare essentials. And by essentials, I mean very few things. Sam's Club has the CeraVe cleansers, either the foaming or the hydrating, $18.96 for a 2-pack. Love these. The hydrating is kind of similar in consistency and performance to Cetaphil's Gentle Skin Cleanser. It's mild, very mild. This is clear, colorless, has a little bit of foam to it. Both fragrance-free, both with ceramides. It's like Sam's Club has their own SPF 50 chemical sunscreen spray, water-resistant 80 minutes. $16.97 for 3 9.1 ounce cans. Now, a 9-ounce can, we'll say, will get you 9 total body applications if used correctly, but unfortunately sprays do have a tendency to lead to skip areas of under application, and you've got to be really careful with using them. They often end up going on the sidewalk and not on your skin. So be mindful of that, but I would say 9-ounce can is a pretty good value. I've seen like some tiny little cans of spray sunscreens out there, and it's like, that's not, I mean, for a day at the beach, that's really not enough. But this is a good price. You know, if you want to use a spray, just make sure you apply it liberally and not in the wind. Oh, look who it is, Tatcha, and they're $32.98 for a gel cleanser. That works out to $6.60 per ounce. Interesting choice of fund allocations there. I'm sure it washes your face just fine. I may have even tried it out at one point. I'm honestly not remembering it, so it can't be that notable. These are really popular, these bronzing drops, to tint things, to add a little glow. Do not mix these into your sunscreen. You will jack up the protection. It will not, it can really compromise the protection of your sunscreen to mix drops in. I wonder if it even cautions about that. I'm guessing it doesn't. This brand right here, those of you who have been into skincare for a while, this brand right here is really what ignited, at least within Sephora, the whole clean beauty movement. And it was all based, I mean, as is the clean beauty movement in general, it's all based on made up lies and made up nonsense. It's not actually rooted in any science. In this case in particular, the brand founder alleged that her products were free of quote unquote the suspicious 6. And people were like convinced that these were ingredients that actually should never be used and were going to cause acne breakouts. And these were just ingredients that she had decided for herself, her own skin did not get along with. So she called them the suspicious 6. And that was really a big turning point in the clean beauty, you know, that really ignited the clean beauty space for sure, that whole thing. And they used to gaslight their customers too, like they develop irritation with a product because they have products with glycolic acid and things like that, which, hello, can be irritating. I mean, if you're gonna have a skincare brand, you're gonna make exfoliants, you need to be prepared that some people are gonna develop irritation to it, and you need to, you know, help the consumer with that. They would gaslight their customers at the time into believing that the reason they had irritation was because they were using other products, and that other products should never be used with Drunk Elephant. Otherwise they could not get, it was like the weirdest, like, ooh, Welly brand is getting in on the hydrocolloid patch. And I've got to say, this is a good value. You get 80 patches for $11.96. Now, I've never used the Welly ones. As I've said in many videos before, the main advantage, the main reason to use these for your pimples is to protect them from your fingers. They're great for cutting down on picking, also just inadvertent friction and bumping. It seems like if you have a really swollen pimple, it like catches on things and gets irritated easily. And so this can protect and may absorb a little bit of inflammatory exudate to flatten it out, so that can be helpful. Now, I don't know how well this particular brand's patches adhere to the skin. I've always been a big fan of the Mighty patch. It's really good, and Neutrogena has some great ones as well, but I'm sure these are fine. And it's nice that you get the tin, $11.96. These, as a side note, are really great on a mosquito bite. As soon as you get a bite, you know, it starts to itch. Pop one of those on and it's like, where did it go? What happened to it? You'll forget it's even there. Nature Well has a hydrating and illuminating duo. Somebody accidentally pierced that. You get a cleanser and a glow serum. Cleanser has niacinamide and fragrance and oat, probably okay. The illuminating glow serum has licorice root, pantolactone, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide. The serum actually looks pretty good, if I do say so myself, for hydrating and maybe helping to even out skin tone. This set is, get this, $9.51. $9.51. That's a really good value. You cannot use this, so I can't speak to its efficacy, but I'm just saying, like, how bad can the cleanser be? And that looks like, you know, something you'd at least use and hydrate the skin and maybe help even out skin tone. This is a cult favorite, the Advanced Night Repair Synchronized Multi-Recovery Complex from Estee Lauder. I have an older video where I talk about it. That is here for $56.98. Then we've got the Rock Retinol Eye Creams here. You get 2 for $21.97. Now, a retinol around the eyes can be very irritating, but it formulated in an eye cream, they tend to be easier to tolerate. And they don't necessarily get rid of dark circles, but depending on the contributing factors to your dark circles, they may improve the appearance of them. This came out a couple of years ago from Rock, the Firming Serum Stick to glide the retinol on. Just another way to dispense it onto the skin, basically. They do retinols really well. You know, they have a good formulation, a good stability in their products. as far as the ingredient. And these are fragrance free as well, so I like that. Now, I have heard a lot of good things about this from people, mostly influencers, so I don't know, but it looks interesting. The Multi-Correction Revive Glow Eye Balm. It's a vitamin C. I'm not really into vitamin C personally. I find it kind of irritates my skin many times, but I'll give it a go. But it's got its limitations, and it can be quite a diva. There's a serum here with fragrance, and the form of vitamin C is 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid, which is not anything to get excited about. It's not ascorbic acid, so it's not going to boost collagen. What is in the balm? The balm's got some peptides, astaxanthin, an antioxidant that's trendy right now, that vibrant color. Tetrahexyl decyl ascorbate, that doesn't do much. May reduce oxidative stress, but boosting collagen, no. Olay's got their super cream here. This is a chemical sunscreen SPF 30. Their super serum, which they also have over here, I reviewed a couple of months ago at this point. That was so popular that they had to put that branding basically on multiple products that are reiterations of things they already had, including this. It's scented, niacinamide containing moisturizer with chemical sunscreen and that 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid and some peptides, which Olay is really one to lean into peptides. They're big on peptides and niacinamide. They've been focused on that for longer than many drugstore brand that I'm aware of. Now this I'm pretty excited about because this is Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen Adjacent, which we've got such a family at this point of alternatives to Supergoop Unseen that like we've got Trader Joe's, we've got Elf, we've got Black Girl brand has one. Yeah, a lot of these clear, colorless, invisible formulas. Is this scented? It is not. Then we've got, here's the super serum. 2 of these for $39.98. This is the scented one. If you get the nighttime one, it packs a punch. It's got some great ingredients, beneficial. I've used it, I like it. The nighttime one is fragrance free. Now this is a product to consider if you're looking for a retinol. It's the Olay Ultimate Retinol. They're marketing it as 3-in-1 Retinol 24. It's a really good retinol formulation, very stable, fragrance free. 2 jars here for $39.98, which for a retinol I don't think is too terribly bad, especially given their track record of good formulation, good R&D, and it does have niacinamide, as most Olay products do, which is going to help with dark spots, redness, the moisture barrier, anti-aging. It's a really great ingredient to pair with either retinol or your prescription active vitamin A, tretinoin, tazarotene, trifarotene, adapalene. $39.98, I don't think that's a bad deal. Now, while I was complaining about Drunk Elephant and their sneaky tactics, this product is probably one of my favorites from them, the Proteini Polypeptide Cream. It's really nice. $59.98. This is looking attractive. Vitamin E and beta-cytosterol, squalane, omega-9. Pretty substantial jar here. I'd be excited to give that a try for the body. But I'm not going to pay $39.94 for their milk concentrate. I do kind of want to try, I think they have a body wash that gets hyped up, but I'm suspicious of the hype. Speaking of skincare classics that I mentioned in my Cult Classics video, Dove Beauty Bar is one, and you can get the fragrance-free one here at Sam's Club for $18.48 for 16 bars. Dove's got this cute kids, oh, this is exciting, the Kids Care Foaming Body Wash. Comes in some really cute packaging, coconut cookie, cotton candy, and berry smoothie. No methyl isothiazolone in those. I really want to smell the coconut cookie. $13.98. This Dove Refresh also looks tempting. $16.48. That's 27 cents per ounce for the 2-pack 30.6 fluid ounce bottles. You get the white peach and rice milk. and cucumber green tea. I would just like the white peach. Cucumber is, I don't know. Oh, okay, here we are. This is what I'm excited about. Anything pineapple, mango, passion fruit. Oh, I want to try this. 24-hour micro moisture. That's a lot of body wash though. It'd take me like 3 years to go through all that. $11.48. I have quite a few books. Speaking of books, update, I finished Elmer Gantry a while ago. At this point, it was really good. It was really good. Currently though, I'm reading Blood Meridian. Y'all, that book, yeah, highly recommend. I'm at the 62% mark because I downloaded it to e-reader, but all right. But you kind of have to take it in bits and pieces because some of it is just so like, what just happened there, that you have to pause and catch your breath. But this looks like it would be a nice lighthearted transition away from Blood Meridian to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I always get tempted by these cute, like, little folksy, artsy Vermont cafe style, as I call them, mysteries. Voyage of the Damned. I'm not really into thrillers per se. Mary Kay Andrews has some good beach reads. And they have a bunch of hardback books. The Nightingale. This is a Kristen Hanna book I don't think I've actually read, and it's one that like most people really like. Has anyone read The Women? I love a lot of her books. I didn't care for one that I read most recently, but most of her books I really, really like. Then we have a lot of, oh my gosh, a crochet Snoop Dogg. You guys know I'm cut off of buying more of these kits. I'm currently working on a cross stitch project that is way more intense than I was thinking it was going to be because it's on linen, and the count of the linen is insane. Like it's very challenging, but I'm pulling through. But I am tempted to get this little Snoop Dogg. But I'm not allowed because I still have that crochet lemon coaster set that I bought with you guys that I need to make. I'm going to do that after the cross stitch project. So yeah, that'll probably take me 4 years, but hey, better late than never, right? Now this, I talk about a lot how I enjoy hair oil, so I bought this because I've heard good things about it. This Kerastase Elixir Ultimate, and honestly, it's not bad, but it's also not, I'm almost finished with it. It's also not like wow worthy. The one expensive hair oil that I was really like, oh wow, this I really like, is the Oribe Gold Lust. That ended up working out really well for me. And I was thinking, how does this compare? It's pretty good. I actually really like the scent. It's not super strong, like hit you in the face like the Wella one was. The Wella one was the worst. But this one's kind of got a nice fresh powdery aroma to it. Not like baby powder, but that kind of fresh, clean bath powder smell. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this vlog up here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.